And we are live. What is going on, everyone? And happy Turtle Tuesday.
I forgot how to do this.
Yeah, I know it's been a while. We are only off for a week. Well, actually, no. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You were off for like,
I was been up for a couple weeks.
yeah. I forgot that you missed out. I had to have Anna sub in for you. Uh,
Oh man.
I know. Yeah. So, FYI for people who are wondering where we were last week. I mean, it was kind of Labor Day related. Labor Day was my son's birthday. Unfortunately, during his party, he got an injury. Like, not a bad one, just a bad bump on the head. And Anna and I, we had to watch him for a day to make sure he didn't have a concussion. So, and for just to let you guys know, he is fine. He's playing just fine. He's like, it was just a scary thing that to look at, but that was it. But that's where we were last week. If you guys were missing us, but I am Jason Sohail for Turtle Recall. This is the news edition, and I am joined by Mike from Ninja Turtle Power Hour, who is our certified Ninja Turtle expert.
Yo yo yiggity yo.
That's right. This week on the podcast, because the podcast had to take a break too because of the injury, but we are returning
Wait,
this week.
Let me guess. Raphael drives him wild.
That's been out, man.
Oh man.
No. Raphael's driving styles has already been out. No, this week is Beyond the Donatello Nebula. So we're going to take a look at that one, and we go in like some like weird tangents about life and other worlds and speaking different languages and that kind of stuff. That because that's how Honor and
As
I
one
we
does.
was it
As one does.
as one does exactly. But what's going on with Ninja Turtle Power today?
We have begun our descent into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. Um, and I had to sit this episode out, but we did the episodes 4, 5, and 6 of The Next Mutation, and it has been a wild ride so far.
Oh, so you guys didn't do like the first five like together since that was like
No, we had to split it up because uh all four of us weren't there last time, and
gotcha.
so we're doing it in threes. So
Gotcha. Okay. No, it just makes sense. Because there's another. I can't remember of the vampire one. I can't remember her name now. It's like Vampire or whatever. I can't remember if that was like a 4-part or a 5-part thing. Because those are the only two multi-part episodes. It's just like the first one is like 5 parts, and then the other one, the Unchain My Heart or whatever that was. That's either 4 or 5. It's been a while since I've seen the show. And of course, like, I remember I got my DVD signed by Scott McNeil. If you guys don't know, he played Bonesaw, and he was just shocked and he was questioning my choices on why I bought a DVD of Ninja Turtles: Next Mutation. Also, I want to make a quick note is that thank you everyone who came out to DragonCon. We had an amazing panel. So if you guys are listening, you came out to the panel. Thank you guys. You guys are what makes the panel amazing, and we just overall we had a fun time. And then the other thing was, unfortunately, we didn't record. Part of the reason we didn't record is I didn't have someone to record, and then DragonCon set some new rules about recording panels. But they did clarify to me that I can record my own panel because I am I am like press slash guest, and that a guest can post their own panel in their entirety. But if someone else recorded my panel, they couldn't, if that made sense.
well, that's nice.
Yeah. But let's go ahead and get Started with this week's news. This is the last time I'm going to be talking about this because the movie has been released digitally. If we were here last week, this it was going to be the final numbers, but uh, we're just going to go ahead and give you the pretty much the final, like, I'm tracking box office numbers for Mutant Mayhem. And this last weekend it did fall into ninth place. This is like the biggest drop, to be honest, ever since it came into theaters, which is, to be honest, is kind of impressive with the nature of the beast, because usually usually you see like a 40 to 50% drop between the first and second weekend. So I think this is the largest drop. I have to check for 4 weekends domestically. But it is at ninth place. Ninth place. It only got 2,000,000 700,000 roughly over the weekend domestically. The domestic running total is $111 million, which for the budget of the movie is very impressive, because the budget was at 70 million. And this weekend it will actually be like have its like final like releases for worldwide. I think the only two places is Korea and Thailand. Those are the only two countries that haven't had it yet. So everything else is like banking is actually just like straight up profit at this point.
Yeah, and the sentiment is like, it's not a ton of money. Like, this movie wasn't a blockbuster by any means.
No, not a blockbuster, but it's
But it's far from a bomb.
no, no,
So that's what's really good
right. A
about
lot.
this run, and it is still playing in theaters, even though it's on digital now.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that, but yes, it is on digital now. But yes, this is box office analyst has like they have like deemed this as a success. I've seen some say a critical success, but I don't think so. But I think they're saying critical because of the reviews.
Well, yeah, it's what critical means,
Oh, okay,
because it's
okay.
critics
Oh,
success.
okay, okay. Because like I look at the word critical and I think of like, oh, it's like done really good. But no,
Oh,
this
no. That means like critical success means that like all the critics loved it.
Then that makes sense. Yes, but this is definitely a box office success for a movie. I've seen one YouTuber I follow a lot is Dan Merrill, who analyzes a bunch of these box office, and he basically said like for the summer, this was like Paramount's like pretty much their best success, because of like their other movies. Like they did, like Transformers did well, and I think the other one was uh
So Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Yeah, that one
Yeah, so they
did.
had Mission Impossible and Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah,
Um, and yeah, so Mission Impossible was a pretty big bomb for, I think.
yeah.
Um, and Rise of the Beast like did really well, but
Right.
not
Rise of the Beast
not
did.
as
Yeah, Rise of the Beast did well. It just didn't like, I mean, it's just that compared to how much it cost, it didn't
yeah.
do as well. But with like Ninja Turtles, it right now worldwide already is already at 160 million. I really think by the end of this box office run, if it doesn't get to 200 million, I think it'll at least get 190. Like but yeah, the one I wanted, that kind of surprised me was the digital release date, because I remember you brought up earlier that the date was supposed to be September 5th, and I told you, it's like, oh, those dates like move depending on how well it's doing in theaters. I just wasn't expecting it to move the other way, and because obviously it's on digital now, and it actually got released on September 1st before the Labor Day weekend, which I personally thought it was weird. I thought like they would at least try to have that one last push for Labor Day, and um, then just let it then like put it on digital and see how and see how it goes from there. uh my wife, Anna, she did reach out to animator Mike Holland. He did not do anything about this movie, but he did say that he does like, because he 100% doesn't know why, what was Paramount's reasoning for doing it, and but what he thinks is because he knows that the DVD sales for animated movies actually do better uh, than the actual uh, movie theater sales, and he's
Yeah,
yeah, and
like
so
that's always kind of been a thing since like home video has really like become a mainstream like way for people to watch movies.
right,
Like animated movies always do better at home because it's like, you buy it once and then the kids can just keep watching it.
right,
So
yeah, so
it's it yeah, so like I mean Paramount always knew that this movie was going to do way better, once it got to the home market. I mean,
right,
like I've already pre-ordered the Blu-ray.
uh-huh. um yeah, so what he concluded was that he thinks they just wanted that extra weekend sales, because of the streaming, because more than likely this is probably going to come on Paramount Plus uh by the end of September. It's look and the Blu-ray release. There's no hard date yet. When we get a date, we'll let you know. But the date of the Blu-ray is right now slated for early October. So, but when we actually get a date for the Blu-ray, we'll definitely let you know. I mean, me personally, once it came on digital, I bought it. I bought it immediately that day, and it actually made it easier for me because I was able to put whatever scene I wanted for Dragon Con, because I was not limited on what Paramount officially released.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Now was it true that there's like 40 minutes of like
Yeah.
bonus features?
Yeah. Most of the bonus features are already on YouTube. Um, but yeah, there. I didn't like clock them all. I still haven't like watched them all.
Mm,
But like, it's just like, there's one. The one that we definitely watched was How to Draw a Leo, and I believe that's on YouTube. I'm not 100% sure. And then
gotcha.
and then there was like then there's a behind the scenes on like casting teenagers, which the like it's a full interview with the cast of the voice actors, and it's just that like parts, like it's just parts of those are have already been released in various different behind the scenes videos. They just like
Mm.
just give you a full thing. And I mean these special features are going to be on the Blu-ray. Like there's like that's how that's how they do really do like the digital and that kind of stuff. I parts of me, because like most animated movies, they come with like a bonus like animated short, and I was kind of hoping for an animated short, but didn't really come. That was like but everything else, like if like I I've seen, like, I think the 2014 and 2016 movies had more special features, but I've seen like now, like with most movies now, like special features have been kind of like getting less and lesser, just in general.
Well,
But
yeah, it's like special features like that was that was such a big thing in like the DVD era. So,
right,
it's just not that big of a thing anymore,
right. It's really not. To be honest, it's really not. I know a lot of it is because a lot more people are going to digital, and not many people even know how to access special features on digital. I think Amazon, the way they do it is like after the movie, they just tack it on, like at the end of it. I personally I bought this on Vudu. Oh, that's something I want to bring up. Unfortunately, Paramount is one of the studios that do not have movie anywhere. So if you do get this on digital, it is locked on whatever service you got it on. So I personally got it on Vudu, just because Vudu has a much sleeker design for
Mm.
the extras and everything. YouTube is like if you get on Google, it's so and like because like, they're phasing out Google Play movies, and going straight to just YouTube now. And
Oh, I
like
didn't know that.
yeah. I got an email that said that I think this month the app will be
Interesting.
no longer go there. And then so um and by the way, trying to find a movie on YouTube is like for purchase is kind of annoying because when you try to search for a movie, you have like all those people who try to upload it illegally, and it's like you have these cam versions. I'm like it's
Mm.
one of the most annoying things. But yeah, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I definitely like it, and when you get your Blu-ray, at least you'll have a digital copy that you get to redeem as well.
Well, sweet. I'm waiting for that to come out on Blu-ray, so I'm in
Yeah.
no rush.
I understand. And I see that I Can't See has joined us, and he asked if we knew that they put season one of the original series on the official YouTube channel. And yes, I am fully aware. I believe Mike and we talked about it a few weeks
Yeah, we
ago.
talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. The weird thing about the first season on the YouTube channel is like the theme song is re-edited. I don't, and I guess to I you would think that if they own the license, they don't have to worry about like their own strikes or their own like music license, but um and then also it's like it's edited to be like one movie instead of like five different episodes, which I thought was a kind of a weird thing to do. But other than that, and next week I think is when it's coming on Paramount Plus, I believe. Uh, all right. The next thing I kind of want to briefly talk about is so when Anna and I we came in, we talked about the handprints at the TLC Chinese theater. And I just wanted to kind of like give an update that the ceremony has happened. You can actually watch. There's several people who recorded it and uploaded it um, on there if you want to watch it. What I thought was pretty cool was the handprints. They're in like these like pizza wedges.
Yeah, I thought that was like super cute.
Yeah. So there's five wedges, and the the fifth wedge is actually like the logo for Mutant Mayhem.
But then what was really cute was that Kevin Eastman was there and he got to sign it, and he signed it Eastman and Laird.
Yes, yeah. I thought that was like amazing that he added
Yeah.
Laird's like name there and everything. Yeah, I thought this was super cute. I really enjoyed it. I like I like the fact it was like the because at first I was like wondering why they were like kind of cut out like that. Then I was like, oh, it took me a while because like I don't know. I think it took me like 5 minutes to realize, oh, those it's supposed to be pizza. Yeah. Well, like when it's
Yeah,
all
like
separate, it didn't look like pizza to me.
that was just, it was a super nice gesture. Like I was so glad that Kevin signed it, Eastman and Laird. Um like that just brought it home. That
Yeah,
was really nice.
yeah. I thought so too. Uh, so, uh, so the next thing I want to, so the next thing I want to talk about is that something actually Mike brought into my attention. If you bought Shredder's Revenge on from the signature games to get the the physical version of Signature Games, it's been reported. Now, both Mike and I, we can't confirm this personally because we don't have uh, the Signature Games edition, but it has been reported that the DLC is actually region locked. And
Yeah, because we reported on the signature edition. Oh God, over a
almost a
year
year ago,
ago.
over a year ago, yeah.
Over a year ago, because that was the first physical edition that people could get their hands on.
Right.
Um, and so a lot of people here in the States ordered that instead of the limited run games. Which I believe we tried to explain to people that like, hey, like these are the European versions.
Yeah.
You know, it's back then we were correct. The game is region free, so the cartridges that you got for your Switch versions, um, you could play that. But come nowadays, apparently the DLC is region locked. So because you have your game your European game that you're trying to use on an American console, apparently that is causing an issue for some people. I just saw this popping up in the some of the Facebook groups today, so I can't, like I said, I can't personally confirm it, but if you're out there and this is happening to you, let us know, because that does suck.
Yeah.
you know
No, that definitely sucks, especially because I know for a lot of people, like it it wasn't just because they wanted like the stuff that came with it. I know a lot of people like they want physical like things like for their media. Like um it's just that there it's hard for them to just get the just digital only, and there are arguments that I know for both sides of it. I personally, I'm a digital only person nowadays, just because I like the convenience of digital, but I understand for like the people like, oh no, what if the servers all shut down and I have no way to access this, uh so, and as Mike said, that this was the first one to get it because limited run games, I mean, their version, even like the ones that was in stores, that was like delayed by at least, I want to say, 3 or 4 weeks before it started hitting the stores. And that's, I mean, and that's like not counting like the actual like stuff, like like all the special editions. Like I have the Radical edition, and like that came out like a week before the DLC came out. But um but actually, because I haven't actually talked to you about this, Mike, how are you enjoying the DLC?
Yeah, I haven't had time to like really sit down and go through it. I do really like playing as Usagi,
Yeah.
because in the story mode, um, like he's so fast, and his aerial game is really good.
Yeah.
Um,
I have.
so he's a ton of fun to play. I haven't played as Karai yet. And then I was trying out some online with the I was trying out some online multiplayer for the survivor mode,
Um.
and I had a good, we had like 10 rounds, and whoever I was playing with was definitely carrying me because uh I decided, I mean, because he I think he was a higher level
He probably was.
character already.
He probably had like 2 lives.
Well, no, I think he's like, his character was already like leveled up. Like I was playing a level
Right.
0 April,
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah.
and so like,
Because you get to a point where one of your levels, because my Usagi is maxed at survival,
hmm,
but like you get to a point like uh at one point in your level, I forget what level it is, you get a second life, and that really changes like
oh, I'll
survival
bet,
mode. Yeah, yeah,
I'll bet.
exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah,
like
but the survival mode is a lot of fun. I do wish that there were more stages. And it was funny that we were talking about this in our Power Hour group chat earlier, that it's kind of funny that the Mirage stages, aren't based on Mirage like at all.
No, it's not.
Like
There's like
it's still like the 87 like turtles, but like just black and white.
right. Half court is in like
Yeah, like half court's there.
yeah. I think
Um,
Mondo Gecko's there too.
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
And
like
so it's like it's a cute aesthetic, but it's still like it's not Mirage.
right. No,
But I do really like the color palettes because that was one of my big complaints for the original game a year ago was that like when you have 6 players on screen and 4 of them are turtles, it's really hard to see who is who.
right.
And so having the option now for skins really fixes that problem, especially for me.
Yeah, it
But I
makes it
know
a
like
lot
other
easier.
it makes it a lot easier because like I had downloaded some mods for my PC version
Oh, nice.
because I also bought it on Steam.
Uh-huh.
And like I had modded the game with some skins that I had found online just to make it easier for me, so I could always see who I was playing,
Right.
and that was incredibly helpful. I also modded it so that it plays the original theme song and intro. It doesn't do the new animation,
Right.
so that was a great mod.
That's those are pretty cool mods. Yeah. No, I've been enjoying it. I've been playing survival mode a lot. I maxed out Usagi. I played Kurai some. I will say between the two new characters, Usagi's definitely my favorite out of the two. I have not actually done story mode with Usagi. I've only been doing strictly survival mode. But I will say something with survival mode is that like you get to like level up your turtles and or your all your characters. I thought it was like actually a really cool thing because like when I first was playing survival mode, I could barely get through Mirage and Ito, and now I can like get to like the final boss like without without losing a life. So
Oh, nice.
yeah. Uh, but yeah. But if you guys have the signature games edition or like a foreign copy, and like and I'm just curious if you tried to get the DLC and if it region locked you or
Yep.
not like that like obviously that was obviously a year ago when people were thinking of the DLC was probably like not even in like people's minds about it, and I do wonder if like Dotemu or Tribute Games can do anything to remedy this, but or if there's enough people like for them to try to remedy this or not.
Like I don't know, because like once you start getting into like uh international like purchases like that, like you're starting to get into like international deals.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know, like I can't see Emu doing anything about it because
Yeah,
it's not really their problem.
that's true.
It because like that's more of like the storefronts issues.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, if this is happening to you, let us know.
yeah.
And let us know if you got it fixed or anything.
Right.
Keeping on video games, a brand new video game.
You're gonna hold on to that.
Oh, am I? Because I've died. That we're on the perfect segue.
We are on the perfect segue, but you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and get into that. I mean, I did say this one for last, but let's go and get into this. But yeah, uh, it has been announced that Outright Games is uh doing a Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem game that's coming out to consoles and PC next year on 2024, and basically this game is going to be a follow up of the movie. It's supposed to take place like a few months after uh, the movie, and it's supposed to have like the same animation style of the movie as well.
Yeah. So this was announced. The company that's making this game is very much a family friendly game
Yeah,
company. And it's personally not for me, but I didn't play any of the 2012 games either. So
I played some of the 2012 games. Like, I mean, Danger of the Ooze is like amazing. Like, if you guys have not played that game, you guys definitely should try it out. I mean,
Well,
it's
it's hard
made.
now that you don't have now that you can't buy it on the 3DS shop anymore.
Uh, I think you can still get it on PlayStation 3 because that's where I got it from.
Oh, is it on there? I thought it was a
Yeah,
3DS only game.
no. It was on 3DS, but it was also on Xbox and PlayStation. And
Oh, good
I
to
got it on
know.
PS3. Yeah, and I mean it's made by Wade Forward. And like it's a like it pretty much like if you've played the Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy, especially now you have the Cowabunga collection, it plays like that game. Um, like it. Definitely definitely check that out if you can. I don't know if it's still listed or not because it was by Activision. So it but yeah. This game. First, I'm kind of wondering if like the events are going to be canon, if there's going to be brought up in the TV show or not. What we have, we don't have a trailer or anything like that. We only have just a concept art, and in the concept art, we see that there's more villains, or I would say not villains. I should say more mutants. Right, like on the corner, there's like a dolphin mutant.
That's Dolphin Man from what Cynthia Ucheram said she was trying to mutate.
I see. Oh, I only saw the movie like 4 times now.
Yeah, you really should have
I need
remembered that one,
up.
buddy.
I need to like expand it so I can have everything memorized. Uh, but yeah. Uh, I'm pretty. I'm very interested in this. And I'm wondering. Like, I can't wait for the trailer to come out so we can see how it is. As Mike said, this is like outright games does more like family friendly games, and they kind of like they're more of that. Uh, like we push out stuff kind of a developer. So I'm not expecting like like I'm not expecting uh the last Ronin quality here if we're going to compare video games there. But I think this would be a good movie tie-in game that at least it doesn't have uh that restriction of like, oh, we need to get this out before the movie comes out. So hopefully they can actually do some good quality with it.
Yeah, because like that's actually the one bonus to this announcement is that like they don't seem to like necessarily have a deadline. Like they don't have to have this out next to um next to the movie. So
Right.
this really gives them that room to breathe and take their time with this because that like you said like what that's really what kills a lot of licensed games is that they have to come out next to a movie. And
It has to
with
come out next to a
this,
movie and then without like a key plot points because they don't want to spoil it for
well,
the
I mean,
people.
even then it's like was the last one Mutants in Manhattan.
Uh-huh.
That wasn't a tie-in game to Out of the Shadows, but Platinum Games was mandated that they had to have the game out by the movie,
Right.
and that severely killed the development of the game.
Yeah.
And so, like with this, hopefully, Outright Games is given that opportunity to really, just do their own thing. We don't have an announce. We know the TV show's coming, but we don't know like when.
Right.
So like this could potentially give them a couple of years, at least a year or two to work on it. I can't imagine this is going to be, a super big AAA experience.
No. Because
But I mean,
I have a
like
feeling
also
like
also too, like
Nickelodeon's gonna probably.
I mean, I've
concentrate
grown
more
up
on- Sorry.
I've grown up on licensed games enough to really know that like a lot of these kind of games don't really ever tie into uh the franchise. Like
Right.
we've had Spider-Man 2 video games that were supposedly like the sequel, like what happened right after the movie, and it's like that was all decanonized as soon as the next one came out.
Right,
Um,
exactly. Like, do you remember X-Men the game, the official game, or I think that was like the title of it. It was supposed to be
yeah,
like, oh, this was between X-Men 2 and X-Men 3, and like no one referenced anything about it. It's like that was this is why Nightcrawler's not in X-Men 3, and no one
yeah.
cared.
Well, there was another one too. There was the Matrix Online,
Oh, I forgot about
and
that one.
that one that one was huge back then. Like this was a Matrix Online was a an MMORPG like
Yeah,
in the early 2000s.
yeah.
Um,
If I remember,
and
there was a character that was actually in the movie that was based off the game.
well, I well, I mean, from the first movies.
No, like I meant like it's like in the second and third movie they reference a um they they had like a character, and like they didn't like give like much of a they didn't give much of it of that character, but like I had like someone like told me, it's like, oh, that was in the video game.
Well, let me get to my point
Oh
with
yeah, I'm sorry.
the um so the Matrix Online was worked on by the Wachowskis. Like this was
Right,
as official as a sequel as you could get.
right.
Like for a time, like this was the canon sequel to the Matrix movies. Like you
Mhm.
found out what happened to Neo, and you know everything everything had built off of the movies. And then, 20 years later, we get the Matrix Revelation, the new one that just came out,
Oh, Revolution.
Revolution.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Revelation was another
and
movie.
was it? Oh God, I can't remember.
I know, I know.
They're all R movies.
I know exactly. They all start.
Um, but and so like me going into like I knew in my heart of hearts that like um it wasn't going to reference Matrix Online. Like even though I wanted it to, because like I had played it years ago and I really enjoyed
Yeah.
it. It was really, because I mean I was the only MMOs like at that time were like Dark Age of Camelot. I think World of Warcraft, it was just coming out and I wasn't like fully into World of Warcraft yet.
Right.
And then like Star Wars Galaxies and like other MMOs of that time. So the Matrix Online was like really cool, especially because it was like the official sequel to those movies. So you really felt like it mattered when you played it. And so, 'cause the MMO or the new movie comes out, and yeah, like it's got nothing to do with the storyline that had set up. And I knew it
Right.
wouldn't, because it's like, you're going to require people to play an MMO from 20 years ago.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
come on. Um, but yeah, so that was my thing with it. It was so that's why like I typically stay away from licensed games that promise to be tied into a version. Just because like I know like ultimately it doesn't matter
Right. I
to
will.
that franchise.
Yeah. I will say for me personally, like movie tie-in games or licensed games in general are my guilty pleasures, because I know, for me, I know they're not good, but I just like them for some reason. That's like when I can sit down and play. They're usually like 5 to 10 hours, like story wise. And as Mike said, like most of the time the story doesn't even matter. They like it either like it tries to recreate the story, or it just veers off in its own thing. But it just has a certain charm for me in everything that I've always loved. And that's just me. That's me personally. I mean, I personally like the downfall of like movie tie-in games. I've always that's like my RIP. Like I'm kind of like, oh man, I miss like whenever there was a Marvel movie, there was always like a game that came with it. Now they don't have that anymore. So um, I miss I
Well, I
do
will
like.
say one of my favorite tie-in games, and you're right, like it is a good guilty pleasure. Um, One of my favorite ones is Captain America Super Soldier,
Oh, that was a great
which
one.
which was I mean it wasn't fantastic, but like um as far as like movie tie-in games go, like it was one of the better ones. And what was really cool about it was that it was like the Batman Arkham games, but Captain America and
Right.
fighting Nazis. Like it took place all in World War II, and like the mechanic, like it was basically a ripoff of our Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
but it was so good that it was like, like, yeah, like, copy that formula because it works here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that was the last one Sega got to make, because then Disney took over the franchise, and Disney was like, "No, we're not," because they didn't want to dirty. They didn't want to dirty their waters of like the movies, the franchise movies. That's part of the reason. Like because I know if you see out there, there's like reports of a canceled Avengers game, and that was Disney like just put the kibosh on that because they didn't. Um, uh, that was like one of the deaths of the Marvel tie-in games. But yeah, no, I loved the Super Soldier game, the Captain America Super Soldier. So, uh, the last thing I want to get into, go sticking with Mutant Mayhem. We got word from Playmates that Wave 2 of the action figures are coming November for Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Right now, the only ones we have confirmed from Playmates is Scumbug, Wingnut, Genghis Frog, and Mondo Gecko.
So yeah, it's good that they finally like are announcing the rest of the mutants.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these mutants, I kind of felt like it's like, oh, they're like, oh, they're doing this movie so we can sell toys of these guys. And I just thought like I was kind of like, okay, when are the other mutants coming?
And so these are the only ones that they've shown. We've got just this one picture of all the mutants. We'll probably see more at Toy Fair as it comes up in
Yeah,
a couple weeks.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Toy
but
Fair's coming up. I mean,
I hope
I
I
kind
hope
of
they
had
do
like,
make other. I hope they do make like other announcements, like we get a single carded April, so that we don't have to buy that
yeah,
box set.
yeah, yeah.
That would be really nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. I mean, because I mean, I'm like 90% sure a single carded April, um, is coming. Like and this is like Playmates who, like we have like five different ways to get like each of the turtles in like different decos. I'm pretty sure April will like uh come there. I would not be surprised if we see some other like just uh other like single carded like turtles themselves, kind of like how like like we already have the disguise set 4-pack that's a Walmart exclusive. I'm not expecting them to be single carded or anything like that, but I'm just saying like all of a sudden like we see Mikey in like the Mikey in his like little hat or something like that, or like the turtles in their school outfits. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing like those figures come along too.
Well, yeah, because like the turtles are always going to be like the number one thing that sells for this franchise. So
Right.
it always makes sense to have them, you know, in available in some way. Cough, cough, NECA,
Yeah.
cough, cough. So it like I and plus like with this being like the new era of these turtles, like this they need to get the turtles back out there, especially for the Christmas season. You know,
Yes, 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 yeah. Yeah, obviously, for the Christmas season, I mean, like it's already been reported like these toys have been like selling pretty well. I would not be surprised if for this wave that we see another Splinter release, because Splinter is like right now the one that's like hard to find out of all the figures right now. Just mainly because he's not re-released any other packs or anything like that, and he is one per pack with the
with the
mutants.
villains.
Yeah, the villains. Yeah, and like because of that, because a lot more stores they order the turtles than the villains. Just that Splinters is in that like realm of like It's just he's just not getting as or he's like one per pack, and this is not getting as ordered as much. So
Yeah.
I expect like another wave that Splinter is going to come in to make him easier.
Which is
For
funny because like I went to Target yesterday and I found 2 splinters.
oh nice nice nice
And I
yeah
was like, I'm not going in that line like further than the turtles.
right.
Um, so I wasn't gonna get them, but I was like, would be funny if I did get them.
You should have just like posted on there like, hey guys, $50 each.
Nah.
No, I'm only kidding about that. But no, I will be honest, like because before the movie, I found Splinter hard to find, but then like when I start seeing like Walmart and Target start getting like more stock regularly in, I I've been seeing him pop up a lot more. But I remember I ended up getting mine online from Walmart, and like they actually like it was actually like I was expecting it to be shipped in a box, but it's actually someone went to the Walmart store, shopped at the store, got Splinter, and then like put it in a Walmart bag and put it in front of my door.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Speaking of Walmart, you got to be careful right now. Um the Comic Con like exclusives
yeah,
that Walmart was selling, there are some third party sellers that are still listing that.
yes, I've been seeing it, and like they've been like listing it as like $50, and like
And
it's on the
and
Walmart app.
they're shipping the normal Leonardo.
Oh wow, they're shipping the normal Leonardo for that
Yeah.
price. Ooh gosh, that's ooh.
So uh so just a heads up, if you, I mean, I don't want to sound elitist, but like if you missed out on those Comic-Con exclusives at Walmart, they're gone. Like you're
Yeah.
not going to get them, even though like they're still listed on Walmart's app and website. That's not what you're going to get. So
Yeah, no. I mean, to be honest, like, uh, people like if you like, there's no reason to get it from parties anyway. I mean, I understand if you missed it and you really want it, but I wouldn't I wouldn't really trust the Walmart app for like third party selling, because of instances of what Mike just said. But at the same time, Walmart, they do have every seller on Walmart has to adhere by a 30-day return. So if you do buy it from them, you end up getting a regular Leonardo. You can definitely they have to adhere by that 30-day return and everything. So you can because that is like part of the deal for being a Walmart seller, is that you have to adhere by that. That but yeah, that stinks. Oh, did yours come in? Because I mean I couldn't get them. They sold out before I could try to order them.
yeah, no, I got all four.
Nice, nice, nice.
Leo had shipped separately from the others.
Okay.
So that was the one that I was worried about, but he came like, a couple days later.
Yeah, I don't expect these guys to be in stores either. I think this is just going to be a online kind of thing.
Oh yeah, this was
Yeah,
100% just an online thing for Walmart's CollectorCon.
yeah. Parts of me, I'm still crossing fingers that like Playmates do like what they did with the Rise Turtles, where they just uh like you get like another chance to get them, but they're just not in that San Diego Comic Con package. But you still have like the San Diego, like the Art Deco of the of those turtles. I thought that was cool. They did it with Rise. I'm hoping they do it with the Mutant Mayhem ones. We'll
Did they
find out.
really? Oh man, I would have loved those.
Yeah. Do you remember when Rise came out? It had the pizza points.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got enough pizza points, and it was like the first pizza points I made sure I got enough to get, um, like I got the rice turtles. They just weren't in that San Diego Comic Con package. They were just in a normal just a normal plastic package thing, but like it had they came with their weapons. All the weapons were painted. The like Donatel's goggles. The big reason I wanted it was because Donatel's
Mm.
goggles were actually painted, and not just all purple.
Oh, bummer. I would have loved that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's why we needed Turtle Recall back in
Yeah.
2018. Exactly. I could have let Mike know that this existed. And
Um,
that's also where how I got like the movie Turtles. Uh, because I bought the ones on the card, but then I also got them through the Pizza Points thing. So like I had a open package, and they also had the other like Muckman from the 2012 series.
oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, they had some good stuff. That was a program I was so sad when they took out. I was like, oh man, I missed the Pizza Points. But that is all that we have for this week. Thanks for everyone that joined in. Thank you, I Can't See, for joining in on the conversation. Don't forget this Thursday, we will have the full audio podcast with Beyond the Donatello Nebula. Is there anything else you would like to add for this week, Mike?
That is it from me as well.
All right. Till next time, guys. See ya.
Adios.